You've probably heard people talk about affirmations like there's some magical chant. Repeat, I'm abundant 5 times, and poof, abundance shows up. Yeah, that's not what we're doing here. This isn't about fantasy, it's about rewiring. It's about getting honest, building a better message, and choosing to say, let me take you back to one of the strangest moments of my life. I was half awake, brushing my teeth, when I caught my eyes in the mirror and heard myself say, "You're such a screw up." It wasn't loud, just a whisper in my mind, but I paused. That wasn't a one-time thought. It had become so common, I didn't even notice it anymore. That was the day I realized my mind had been running on autopilot. And someone, probably 12-year-old me, mixed with a few hundred old criticisms, was flying the plane. What I didn't know then was this: that voice was training me. Over time, it shaped how I saw myself, responded to people, and felt brave when taking chances. And I'll tell you something wild. You're training yourself too, every single day, with every thought, every word, every mental loop. So today, we're talking about how to take that steering wheel back. Now let's start here. You're already brainwashing yourself. It sounds dramatic, but it's true. You don't need a cult leader or a shady YouTube rabbit hole to be brainwashed. You're doing it yourself, just by what you repeat. Every time you think, "I always mess this up," or "I'll never figure this out," it's like carving a groove in your brain. The more you say it, the deeper it gets. Eventually your mind goes there without even asking permission. But here's the thing, you can carve a new path. You've probably heard people talk about affirmations like there's some magical chant. Repeat, "I'm abundant 5 times," and poof, abundance shows up. Yeah, that's not what we're doing here. This isn't about fantasy, it's about rewiring. It's about getting honest, building a better message, and choosing to say it every day until your brain starts to believe it. A friend used to joke that he was just the anxious guy in our group. He'd say it constantly. At first we laughed, then we noticed he never made it through a dinner without apologizing for his nerves. I asked him, what would happen if you stopped saying that? He thought about it and said, "I don't know who I'd be without that label." And that's the problem, isn't it? We talk ourselves into identities and then wonder why we feel stuck. You must decide who you want to become and start speaking from that place. Not the past, fears, or what someone said about you in high school, but from the version of you that's in progress, the one you're becoming. You don't have to lie to yourself. You just have to start planting better seeds. If you've ever practiced an instrument, you know that repetition is everything. Play bad note enough times and it becomes muscle memory. The same happens with thoughts. But here's what people don't always realize. Your brain is more flexible than you think. It's constantly changing, picking up on patterns and adjusting its filters. When you say something over and over, "I'm calm under pressure, I can handle this, I'm building a better life," your brain doesn't argue. It files it away and starts treating it like truth. It's not instant, but it's real. And if you've spent years saying, "I'm always behind," then yeah, switching to "I'm getting stronger every day" might feel fake at first. And that's okay. You're not trying to trick yourself, you're teaching yourself. Make it real, not ridiculous. Many people get stuck because they try affirmations far from their current reality. It's like saying, "I'm a millionaire," while staring at an empty bank account. Your brain rejects that stuff immediately. But what if you said, "I'm learning to manage money better," or "I'm focused on building security step by step"? That's something your mind can work with. It's believable, empowering, and grounded in the now. Think about it like this. Your affirmations should be something you can grow into. It's not a costume you throw on and hope it sticks. Your mind filters the world based on what you tell it. So here's a quick story. A friend of mine bought a red car. The next day he started seeing red cars everywhere. It wasn't that suddenly everyone bought a red car. His brain was just tuned into it. The same happens when you tell yourself, "I'm someone who finds opportunities." Suddenly you start spotting them. Not because they magically appeared, but because your attention shifted. Part of your brain, sort of like a filter, decides what's worth noticing. And the more you feed it certain words and thoughts, the more it hunts for things that match. That's why affirmations work. You're giving your brain new instructions. Years ago, I had a rough stretch where I kept saying things like, "I'm not cut out for this," or "I'll probably screw it up." Every mistake I made just proved those thoughts right. I was building a case against myself, with my own voice as the star witness. But then I tried something different. Every morning, I started saying one new sentence, just one. Usually something like, "I'm showing up even when it's hard," or "I'm learning how to be brave." It felt clunky at first, like I was trying on shoes that didn't fit, but I said it anyway, every day. Till one morning, I wasn't trying it on anymore. I was saying what I believed. Repetition does that. It moves the words from maybe to mine. In other words, when you first say an affirmation like I'm strong or I deserve love, it might feel like a maybe, as in maybe that's true, maybe not. There's doubt. But the more you repeat it, the more your brain starts to accept it. Not as a question, but as a truth you own. It becomes mine, meaning this is who I am now. I believe this. It belongs to me. And here's what I found makes the biggest difference. Say something true, make it encouraging, and use present tense. If you say I'm rich, but you don't believe it, your brain calls you out. But if you say I'm becoming better at earning and saving, that feels real and it moves you forward. Instead of I'll never figure this out, try I'm open to learning what I need. Instead of I'm always a mess, go with I'm working on getting more organized. Don't make your affirmation a wish. Make it a statement you can own. We all have that one loop that runs the loudest. Maybe it's I'm not good enough or people don't like me. You don't have to argue with it, just notice it. Then say, that's not the story I'm telling anymore. Replace it, not once, not twice, but over and over until your brain forgets the old tune. I'm not good enough becomes I'm learning to trust my value. They want to accept me turns into I attract people who respect and support me. It won't feel natural at first, and that's fine. You're not chasing perfection, you're building strength. And here's something that surprised me. The way I spoke to myself didn't just change my confidence, it changed how I treated other people. When I started saying I communicate with kindness, I actually paused more before reacting. When I told myself I deserve good relationships, I stopped chasing the ones that left me drained. You don't just become more confident, you become better in conversations, more generous, more open, more balanced. The words you choose to believe about yourself ripple outward. Start here, say it often, let it sink in. You don't need 50 affirmations. Start with one. Make it something that lifts you just a little. Something that feels like a better version of what you usually say. Say it every morning, every time that old thought creeps in. Whisper under your breath when you're stressed. Write it down when your mind feels heavy. Repetition is your friend. That's how new thoughts become second nature. To wrap things up, you're allowed to change the script. Here's the truth most people don't say out loud. Almost all of us were trained to think the way we do. By our parents, our teachers, our experiences, our worst days. But training isn't permanent. You get to retrain your mind on purpose this time. This isn't about pretending things are perfect. It's about writing a better story. One where you're not the villain or the victim, but the one who decides where the story goes next. You're not stuck. You're just repeating the script that you didn't write. So grab a pen, start saying something new, and then repeat it tomorrow. Stay positive, friends.